So tell us a little bit about your dating story. Like, how old were you when you got married? How did y'all meet? What is that story like? Because I think people are kind of curious.
Yes, absolutely. So this is going to sound a little bit like a fairy tale. We met when we were 18. And then that sounds like, okay, well, Allison, who are you to be telling us in our 30s and 40s and so on? But yes, we did meet when we were 18. We dated briefly when we were 18. However, we separated thereafter. So he went off to college. He went cross country. And both of us had enough sense in our heads to know. We didn't articulate it, but we had enough sense like this ain't going to work. So we kind of just respectfully kind of faded to black.
But you didn't end on bad terms.
No, did not end on bad terms. We still remained friends on the Facebook. That's when Facebook was the Facebook, right? Like you needed to have in college email in order to create an account. We were still friends, poking each other and wishing each other happy birthday on our walls and all that kind of stuff. And so he continued to see whoever he met over there. He came home. He continued to see whoever he was seeing. And I as well. I continued to date and navigate those treacherous waters of the dating season, of the single season here. Well, not here because we're in Atlanta, but here in New York City. And there was a party. And I mentioned to my friend, like, oh, you know, this is my little boo thing. He don't know it yet, though. And I'm going to this party, and I hope that I see him. I know that we kind of run in relatively similar circles, and I hope that I see him. So my friend, who's an amazing human being, cold DM this guy. Hi, you don't know me. However, my friend, I don't know if she said she likes you or she's looking forward to seeing you. She finessed something to get this guy to go to the party. And so Andrew Wellington decided that he was going to get his ass up and he went to said party. And since then, we've been thick as thieves. We started dating. This was when we were both 30 and we became engaged when I was 33. We got married when I was 34. We had our baby when I was 36 and
the rest is history.
That's right.
God works fast, which is one point that I love making. I love talking to women who met, married, became mothers after 30. 35 is even better because we hear every single day that your value is diminished. Once you turn 30, your eggs is drying up, you're born with all the eggs. We hear all of the things. It's so discouraging though for someone hearing that at 37. That's looking like, well, where's the encouragement for me? Where's the solution for me? Which is what I love about the single season because it's like, okay, we know all these statistics, but here's a solution. And so I love that you have the personal experience to back up, you know, the professional expertise. So I want to talk about what was happening between 18 and 30 because let me just, you know, tell y'all my truth. I have always been of the belief, like, I don't bend the block. You know, like, I'm not circling back. If we end it for a reason. You are proof, though, that that's not always the case.
Absolutely.
And I think, though, the point, though, was that y'all did not end on bad terms. There wasn't, like, a reason that y'all ended. Y'all were just going in different directions. So talk a little bit about what transpired over that 12 years that y'all still somehow found your way back to each other.
Yes, absolutely. So as I mentioned before, we didn't end on bad terms. Again, we were too young to articulate it, but we understood that this thing ain't going, we 18, that this thing ain't going to work, right? So he went off and did his thing and I stayed home, I did my thing. And since we were friends on the Facebook, we would just casually communicate, nothing romantic, nothing flirtatious, nothing inappropriate because I always had to do, right? And I'm sure he always had a girlfriend that was going on as well. So it was nothing inappropriate, just keeping in contact, keeping in touch, knowing that the both of us were alive and well. And that's what it was for the whole 12 years before we then started dating again. And so, yes, it is super key. Number one, there was no ill will. He ain't do nothing bad to me. I didn't do anything bad to him. So there's no anger. There's no frustration. There's no annoyance. You didn't have to get over anything. Right, I had to get over anything. And then number two, we were kids. So even if he did break my heart at the age of 18, like, come on, like, you know, how much accountability are you going to hold to a child in essence? So, and we didn't have that. So seeing that those two pieces were in the mix here, and that's what I tell other people, like, you can spin the block reasonably. Can you identify why the relationship ended? Once you've identified that, if it's something that is fixable and they have fixed it, then spin the block. What do I mean? If you break up over long distance, has the distance changed? Has the person moved back to your town? If you've separated because of financial instability on either part, has that financial instability become stable? If the thing is fixable, If it's something that we can work on, then let's work on it. If there's something a little bit more serious, maybe they've been through a traumatic experience, they just can't show up for anyone in a romantic way. Have they gone through therapy? Has there been 6, 8, 12 months that has passed where now revisiting this makes sense? But you can spin the block under very specific circumstances.